She offered me tea, but it wasn't warmth I was thirsty for. My name is Maya. I'm 24, and that evening the rain had no intention of stopping. The streetlights blurred into soft amber circles, and puddles mirrored the city like broken glass. I was standing under a narrow awning, drenched halfway through my coat, trying to order a car that never came. That's when she appeared, tall, blonde, maybe in her 40s, long hair falling in loose waves against a cream trench coat. She carried a paper bag of groceries and the kind of calm presence that made noise feel optional. "You'll freeze out here," she said, stopping just far enough to not startle me. "Too late," I replied, with a laugh that sounded colder than I meant. She smiled, not polite, not distant, just real. "I live around the corner. Come warm up. Tea, nothing dangerous." For a second, I hesitated. Then another gust of rain answered for me. "All right," I said. Her apartment was only a block away. Quiet, high ceilings, the faint scent of citrus and rain-damp wood. She set down her bag and moved with the kind of grace people don't notice they have. "Sit," she said softly, gesturing toward the couch. "I'll make jasmine." It helps when the day feels too loud. I watched her move through the kitchen, long blonde hair catching the lamplight, hands steady, sleeves rolled to her elbows. She looked more like a painting than a person. When she handed me the cup, our fingers brushed. It was nothing, the kind of contact that happens 1,000 times a day, but for some reason, it stayed. "So," she said, settling across from me, "do you always talk to strangers in the rain?" "Only the ones who look like they know where they're going," I said. She laughed softly, looking down at her tea. "I used to." Something in her tone made me want to ask more, but I didn't. Instead, we sat there, the sound of rain filling the spaces between words. The tea steamed between us, warm and fragrant, and I realized it wasn't just the weather that had changed the air. It was her. She watched the rain slide down the window, her reflection moving in and out of focus with every flash of light from the street. The apartment was warm, filled with the soft crackle of a candle somewhere near the bookshelves. "You're quiet," she said, not looking at me. "I don't want to interrupt the silence," I replied. "That's rare," she smiled faintly. "Most people try to fill it." Her name was Evelyn. She told me between sips of tea, as though it didn't matter, but somehow it did. She was 47, a designer, someone who liked the calm edges of life. "But sometimes," she added, "I miss the noise." I looked at her, the way her hair caught the lamplight, how her voice softened certain words. "You don't seem like someone who misses anything." "Everyone misses something," she said. "Some of us just hide it better." She stood, crossed to the window and leaned on the frame. The sound of rain outside was softer now, but steady, like it knew we needed it to stay. "You remind me of someone," she said quietly. "Good memory or bad one?" She turned, her gaze steady. "A real one." For a moment, I didn't breathe. She smiled. Not in invitation, not in distance, just in truth. I realized that's what made her magnetic. She didn't ask for attention. She earned it by existing exactly as she was. I set my cup down. "You don't invite strangers in often, do you?" "Only the ones who seem lost," she said, "and the ones who make me forget I am." The words hung there, not heavy, but alive. Outside, the storm finally began to fade, the sound of water thinning against the glass. When I stood to leave, she walked me to the door. "Thank you," I said, and meant it for more than tea. She nodded. "Sometimes that's all it takes. someone to share the quiet with. As I stepped into the damp air, she stayed by the window, watching. The rain had stopped, but the street still shimmered, catching the last of the light. And as I walked away, I realized something simple. She hadn't offered me warmth. She'd offered me stillness. And somehow, that was rarer.